So pelvic congestion is its own little animal, definitely hardly diagnosed, really, really rare. And a lot of people don't realize they have it. What it is it's like varicose veins that you get on your outside in your legs and stuff like that, only it's on your internal organs. So your veins on your ovaries, fallopian tubes, other internal organs clog up and swell and block what's going on and causes extreme pain. That's the other thing they figured that I had with my last pregnancy besides the AC was that I had the pelvic congestion going on. So, for example, you think you just have some cysts or pelvic cramps with your menstrual cycle or something, but it's not going away. It's weeks and weeks long of just that sharp stabbing pain in one location, and all of a sudden it will rupture, and it feels like the end of the world has happened, but then you feel better. And so you think you've just had a really bad cyst that has ruptured and opened up. It causes a lot of very big pain because there's a lot of very sensitive nerves in there, especially in your fallopian tubes, especially in your uterus and ovaries, and blood vessels that are just constantly, and there's enough problems going on in there usually anyway. But the pelvic congestion gets in there and it just blocks it up literally like a tube, and it just like you've squozen off a water hose, and it's just like this. They diagnosed it with me because we thought I was having an atypical appendix issue because they couldn't figure out why I wasn't running a temperature. They couldn't figure out, but I was having the pain in the right location. It was inflammation everywhere. So they went in and took out my appendix and come to find out that my fallopian tube had been blocked and had swollen up and was about to rupture there, and that's what was causing all the problems. And they removed it, pain went away. Problem is you never know when it's going to swell up, when it's going to block. Just like varicose veins, they just all of a sudden rupture, but all inside, and you just can't reach them, you can't see them. Again, an unseen problem that nobody really realizes about. Only thing to do about it is if you are diagnosed with it, and they can finally figure it out, is to take them out or to go in and they can sometimes do the same things for varicose veins, thread a needle in and kind of open them up. This last summer, I just actually had my fallopian tubes removed on both sides. I already had the hysterectomy, which helped a lot because it took away all of those that were getting congestion and problems. But the fallopian tubes themselves, it had gone from being the size of a pencil to the size of my thumb, and was not rupturing, and it was just a constant pain. And so we just took them out, don't have to worry about them anymore. But other veins in there can still get stuff, but hopefully not as bad as the fallopian tubes themselves. Again, doctors don't realize it. They diagnose it as everything else. You've got your appendix, you've got cysts, you've got just regular menstrual cramps. They don't realize that there's other things going on in there all the time. Just doctors don't even know about it. And so it's one of those rare things that unless they go in and check it out, you don't even know you've got it. So the fact that it goes on for 2 or 3 weeks straight of a constant stabbing pain that's very localized, without the fevers, without the chills, without the appendicitis going on, probably is a good telltale sign. If we had known that, we probably wouldn't have gone with the appendix. We would have realized that. Usually with ovarian cysts, they will eventually rupture, or they'll show up as a tumor or something on a ultrasound. If they're not finding the pain, often the pelvic congestion does not show up on an ultrasound. So if they're not finding cysts on your ovaries, if they're not finding any swelling or things like that that's abnormal, it's probably a pelvic congestion issue that's going on. If it's consistent, most people 2 or 3 days in a week and it's gone when it's just a cyst or regular cycling. If it's going on for longer than that, consistently ask about it. There's nothing that can hurt because it's possible. They can do CAT scans, can help at least see the swelling and the blockage that's in there. A different type of ultrasound versus just the outside. They were constantly checking the outside. I was having sharp pains down my legs. They could never see anything. But once they did the transvaginal one where they stick one up inside and can look that way, they can get a much better look of any swelling that's on the smaller organs and the smaller vessels. CAT scan definitely showed a lot more of it, but they don't look for that usually with that type of pain. And So it took some extra tests. It can't hurt. The biggest reason they found out about the one was because they took out the appendix and he visually saw it when he was in there looking for what was wrong, and he was able to see that there. Had we done a CAT scan, they did the CAT scan for the appendix, but they weren't looking for anything else, so they didn't see it there because they weren't looking for it. So, but had we been looking for it, they probably would have. So a CAT scan, transvaginal ultrasounds, just a little exploration that's a little bit further. It might reveal it more than just a regular ultrasound does.